Welcome back, everybody, to the Detroit Lions franchise, and we are about to head into the off-season, preparing ourselves for season number 4 of this franchise. And season number 3 ended in a disappointing wild-card playoff game against the New York Giants. And really, it was just an up-and-down season. We came off an NFC Championship game, and we start off losing 3 out of our first 4 games. And right there at 1-3, it just did not look good. Team was kind of up and down, not looking too good. But then we reel off 5 straight wins, ending with a 52-21 win to the Saints. Everything looking good. Kirk Bray, offense, defense, just everything clicking. And then we take this big-time road trip and just fall apart. And even with the 2 wins there at the end against the Cowboys and Bears, it just wasn't the same team that we saw during that 5-game win streak. And really, Kirk Bray's the one that was the catalyst for that 5-game win streak. And maybe the catalyst that went down the drain. He just had a complete up and down season. 23 touchdowns, 15 picks. But he just turned the ball over so many times in that losing streak. It was not good. That 5-game stretch, I believe he only had 2 touchdowns passing and 10 interceptions. That is what led to his benching. Geno Smith played well. He did. But obviously concussion. Kirk Bray comes in. I think he played well enough in that final game. Made that drive down the field to tie the ball game up. Looking pretty good. Playoff game just definitely really struggled. And maybe that's because Calvin Ridley was out as well. This receiving core hurt the entire season. It just seemed like one after the other. You get back healthy. Somebody else goes down. Other than that, offensive line, it's built up pretty well, but maybe Decker and Conklin, maybe it's time for them to go. They were banged up as well and just never really performed. Tristan Wirfs and Penei Sewell, very good. Sewell was out for a little bit as well. I thought Adrian Olsen, Chandler Brooks, the rookie tight ends, performed very well. Defensively, I'm thinking possibly of moving to a 4-3. We put Hutchinson and Goodrich on ends. We got Bush and Rodriguez there. I mean, we run pretty much out of a 4-2-5 nickel as is. So maybe switch to the 4-3. Then you have no need for really Ogunjobi. You have Derek Brown. And I'd like to bring back Lee McNeil. And maybe these 2 guys with Travis Jones backing them up. We'll see. Now, before we hit the offseason, I did look at the free agent market just to see maybe to pick somebody up. And we got Ramondre Stevenson. Now, he had 14 touchdowns for New England a couple of years ago. He didn't play this season. They released him. I mean, not the greatest average, but a touchdown maker. We know what he does in real life. He's obviously not the same in this game, but still, saw him sitting there, said why not. And then Tylan Wallace. I liked him at Oklahoma State. I thought he was a very solid receiver. Obviously didn't get much of a chance with the Ravens. You can see not really anything at all. A total of 5 catches in his 3 years. Solid special teamer. Picked him up as well. Thought why not? We'll have them on the roster. They can compete for a roster spot next season. They should be good. And just 2 little pickups before we start the off season. So we reached the Pro Bowl week, and you can see the playoff situation. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. So Ravens ended up beating the Titans. Then the Chiefs ended up beating the Jags 52-34 in the AFC Championship game. And then you got the Giants ended up taking down Green Bay in Lambeau 45-42 to advance to the Super Bowl. Was that Aaron Rodgers' last game? We'll see what happens come retirement. But you can see the Packers also beat the Bears 48-14. A lot of high-scoring games in this playoffs. But you got Chiefs and you got the Giants. So let's take a look at this Pro Bowl roster. See if we got anybody on these rosters. See if there's maybe any surprises. I'm actually not sure how many guys we're really going to have. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. Kendrick Bourne, what a season from him in Green Bay. Go down the list. Anybody here that we got on this roster? There's Tristan Wirfs. So we got Wirfs on the team. I don't know if I missed anybody. Roosevelt Tuck just absolutely destroyed us. I do not want to see him anymore, but we'll see him twice a year in Green Bay. So not good. Aiden Hutchinson definitely going to make it with the 17.5 sacks. Anybody else? I'm not sure if we're going to get really anybody else that performed very well. Monty Oruwariye could have made it, but he not. But Jaden Weston, he makes it as the kicker. Actually had the most field goals in the NFL, so he makes it. And speaking of, we'll get to yearly awards, see who picks up the MVP, and that's going to be Patrick Mahomes. Another MVP season for him. Nathaniel Hackett is going to be the coach of the year. Chiefs obviously in the Super Bowl, see if they can win another. Derrick Henry, Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC, no surprise there. Same thing with TJ Watt, no surprise. Seeing both of those guys named up on the list. Zach Hunt, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dante McBath, a guy we saw played very well against us. We thought about drafting him, just didn't go the way we wanted to go, and he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Good for him. As the Chiefs really sweeping up a lot of categories. TJ Watt with the best linebacker DB, Keanu Neal, and Evan McPherson is going to win your best kicker. Let's go to the NFC. Offensive player, that's no surprise. Cooper Kupp, what a season. 21 touchdowns. Aaron Donald, 25 sacks. I mean, crazy season for both of them. BJ Dukes, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Roosevelt Tuck, there you go. He wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Adrian Olsen and Chandler Brooks, 3 and 5 offensively. And actually, Jerry Baer was at number 8. But yeah, Tuck is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, he played very, very well. Rodgers, Quarterback of the Year, got Zeke Elliott as the best running back. Cooper Kupp, obviously, best receiver. Offensive line, Eric McCoy. D-line, Aaron Donald, no surprise there. Best linebacker, Aiden Hutchinson, so we can put that one in there. He wins that. Goodrich is going to end up in the top 5. So that's great for Terrence Goodrich. DB is going to go to Rashad Fenton. And we got Amani Warrior right there at number 4. Kicker is going to go to Cade York. Jaden Weston finishes second in that category. So, season recap. Who wins the Super Bowl? It's the Kansas City Chiefs. 31-28. They beat the Giants. Patrick Mahomes is your Super Bowl MVP. Kansas City scoring 17 in the fourth quarter. Coming back to beat the Giants. And Mahomes gets himself another Super Bowl. 3 touchdowns, just about 400 yards there at 397. What a performance. No wonder he won the MVP. But Mahomes, now a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. They really loaded. They got Mike Evans in the offseason. You got, obviously, Travis Kelce, Sky Moore. They tried to give him even more weapons, and you got a guy like Evans. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to add him with Travis Kelce, even though they're up there in age now, but still. The Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions here in season number 3. So let's check out the retirements. This could be big. We'll see. This could be a whole division NFC changer. We'll see. Luan retires. Chandler Jones. And there it is. Aaron Rodgers, after 20 years, has decided to retire. And really, it's going to be a shift in this division. Packers going to now have to look for a quarterback. Your number 1 seed, well, let me know. Maybe number 1 seed last year, a couple years ago. It's a different team now. What are they going to do? Who are they going to go with? It's going to be interesting to see where the Green Bay Packers, because it really opens up our division. Now maybe the Bears see it. Maybe it's their division. They're saying, hey, we got it. This is ours. We're thinking maybe we can have a bounce back season. It's our division. Vikings, we'll see what they do. Their team is so loaded, they just kind of need a quarterback. And I think that they could be a fantastic team. So let's get in some re-signings here. I was thinking when we traded for Rashad Bateman, we would bring him back right away. We tried to sign him, deal with him. He did not accept. He wanted more money. And you know what? I think we're going to let him hit free agency. I think we're just going to let it hit free agency, see what happens, go from there. If we want to bring him back, if there's somebody else I want to go with, because I'm thinking right now, you kind of go into each offseason with a plan. What do you want to do? And I think wide receiver is a position that I want a lot of depth in. That we saw last year. We had top 3 fantastic receivers. But once one went down, even though Jerry Baer played fantastic, he really did as an undrafted rookie, it's just not the skill level guy you want. I want depth at this position. I want to give Kirk Bray every opportunity. I don't care if Jamison Williams goes down or whatever receiver goes down. I want the next guy to step up to be, a solid, decent player. And we just did not have that. And we kind of saw the offense just not go in the right direction. Even the running game kind of sputtered. The running game was kind of off the entire season as well. I mean, DeAndre Swift really didn't have a 100-yard run game, I believe, until week 12 or 13. And he wasn't even the first. It took us, 8 or 9 weeks just to get a 100-yard rusher? I mean, it took us, 6, 7 weeks just to get a wide receiver touchdown. So the offense was just off the entire season. So we're going to try to, build up their receiving core, maybe do some offensive line stuff, and go from there. So, Jack Fox, bring him back. Lee McNeil, I want to bring back. He is a solid player. I know he doesn't really have any re-sign interest at all, but I like him a lot. He's only 25 years old. I would think he would still fit in perfectly with the 4-3. No big deal at all. Right now, a 2-year deal. Around close to, about $9 million a year, averaging just about. And he is going to go to free agency. I still want to bring him back. I still want to bring him back in free agency, even though we'll see what deals he is looking for. Ogunjobi, I think we're going to not offer anything. Jamal Williams, I mean, what a season he had. He has he had 11 touchdowns on the season. I'd like to bring him back with just a 1-year deal. He's 30 years old. You know what happens to running backs at age 30. So I'd like to bring him back, but he is going to hit free agency. So with Ramondre Stevenson signed, maybe we don't bring back Jamal Williams. Gino we're not going to bring back. Tack McKinley we're not going to bring back. Melifanu as well. Anzariki, I think we don't bring him back. Obviously, P.J. Walker was signed just due to injury. Derek Barnes, solid player, okay. Maybe we'll sign him back in free agency, but I think no right now. Let's take a look at the cap. Do we have possible cap hits? Now, we got tons of cap space. Don't get me wrong, but is there contracts maybe we just want to get out of? And maybe I'm looking at Calvin Ridley. He is 30 years old. He had some injury concerns. He didn't produce like we thought maybe he would. He was just kind of a flyer signing. Nobody wanted him. He was just sitting there. We ended up signing him, and he hasn't fully produced here in these last couple of years. So maybe he's a trade target. Maybe there's another team out there that would want him. I'm trying to look through anybody else. Maybe Jack Conklin. Maybe Conklin's a guy we just decided to trade on. There's somebody who probably could use an 82 overall left guard. I think that's a possibility. We can probably get a draft pick or two for Conklin. I think, if we release him, we'll free up about near $6 million. A penalty doesn't count towards that freeing up. So I'm thinking maybe more of a trade. I think somebody would be able to use a guard like him. I think that would totally work. I don't think we would have to release him. Somebody would. It's not like he's like a 73 overall where maybe nobody would want him. So I think that's definitely a possibility. But for right now, from what I am looking, I think we're going to keep a lot of guys. Now, the DeAndre Swift contract is going to be interesting. I know we signed him a couple years ago. He's still one of the top running backs. It's just he keep getting older. We'll see the production he has this year. It'll all depend how that looks. But, I mean, he's still so dynamic. He went off in the playoffs. I have no desire to get rid of him right now, but you just never know with running backs how that possible decline could happen. So, mock draft number 3, Texans. They're saying Michael Wake. They really need a quarterback. They need a quarterback so bad, and I don't understand. But this looks like the draft of tackles. You can see how many tackles are going here just in the top 5. But yeah, Ben Ramirez is supposedly the first one off at Tampa Bay. Brandon Schultz at 8 to Philadelphia as they're projecting at the moment. But yeah, they need a quarterback. I don't know. I don't see how the Texans, you just can't. You got to take a quarterback. You can't just keep rolling with Davis Mills and going 1-16. You just can't do that. You got to have some sort of change. And I don't know what the Texans are going to do at number 1. I guess they'll try to go left tackle and just figure out quarterback along the way. So right now they're saying D'Angelo Matthews is who we're going to take at number 20. We will be looking for a safety. That is another position we will definitely be looking at. McDougal is fine. We can move him around, but Kirby Joseph, just disappointing. He just fell apart. Another one of those guys just kind of just... I traded Deshaun Elliott. We're given the chance to, Kirby Joseph. And for the first few games, he played well, but after that, he just, same thing. Just fell apart. Really bad plays. It's disappointing, obviously, for a second-round pick a few years ago now. But I think we just... I'm saying he stays on the team, but I think we maybe move on and pick something else. But here's a trade. Calvin Ridley to the Texans. We're going to take a second round and fifth round pick. That second round is almost pretty much like a first round, or first number one in the second, fifth round. So they get a receiver. They just need a quarterback to go with him. He'll be their number one guy there. Brandon Cook still with the Texans. But they get Calvin Ridley. That helps out their receiving core and will hit free agency. And Nick Chubb is just sitting there. We don't need him, obviously, but man, what a big-time player. That could be a game-changing player. And Aaron Donald is sitting there. Wow. I can't believe he didn't re-sign with the Rams. Breaks the sack record and now hits free agency. Teams interested 11. That probably should be double that. Easy. Chris Godwin, Mike Williams, Michael Thomas sitting here. Matthew Judon, another big-time pass rusher. You got Trevor Lawrence. So this is going to be a decision. Do we roll with Kirk Bray in his third season? Do we go into season number 4 with Kirk Bray? Give him another chance. A lot of players figured it out in season number 3. We thought he figured it out in the beginning of season number 2, kind of fell apart. But with Trevor Lawrence sitting there, do we try to get a contract signed with Trevor Lawrence and maybe just hold on to Kirk Bray for now, or end up getting rid of him? I'm not sure, man. That's a tough call. That's an interesting decision right now to deal with. Thinking about it, keep going through this free agent list, seeing if I can see anything I want to go with. Obviously, receiver right now, just Jameson Williams. We'll have to look at the draft we're going to with Asante Samuel Jr. That's a pretty nice one. I'm thinking about maybe a corner, but it's more of a draft. I think with the 3 corners we got at the moment, I don't want to bring in Asante Samuel Jr. He's just not going to play that much, so no reason really to bring him in. Let him go off to a team where he's actually going to get plenty of playing time. There's a Lee McNeil who will try to get a deal with Akila Weatherspoon. Let's see what deals we're going to go with. Take a look at this roster once again. Offensive line, left tackle possibility. We've yet to switch over to the 4-3, but we will. So we'll switch guys around. Maybe an out. So if we switch to a 4-3, we'll need an outside linebacker to start. So that's just somebody to bring in, play on like heavier downs. But as I was going through, Terrence Goodrich is now a superstar X Factor. So he just jumped up in the offseason. He is now an X Factor. So we switched to that 4-3. We got Goodrich and Hutchinson on each end. You got an X Factor on each side, pass rushing. That's exactly what you want in this day and age in the NFL, no doubt about it. He is an X Factor right now at reinforcement. But he's now a 78 overall, just -1 with morale. So not a whole lot of, obviously, X Factor abilities. And superstar abilities, he's going to have to wait till he gets up to, 80, 85 overall. But do we want to change this one up maybe a little bit? Possibly Relentless? Defeat the box with sheer force of will? That's a possibility. Fearmonger is what we got Hutchinson at. D-line blitzes. I think maybe. I don't want Run Stuffer. Maybe we go Relentless. I think we'll go with that. Right now has Unfakeable, but yeah, other stuff is not going to be released until he gets up to at least an 85 overall, but that's awesome. Superstar X Factor for Terrence Goodrich. He was our first ever pick in this franchise, and man, he is really, he was slow to keep going to really start up, but man, he has been fantastic since, and now up to an X Factor. And right now, he's sitting there. 4 teams interested right now in Trevor Lawrence. Let's see what he did. I'm going to see what he wants here. 5 years, obviously, big-time contract, no doubt about it. About 148 over 5, near $30 million a year. He's 25 years old. Heisman Trophy winner, national championship winner out of Clemson. I think he's coming off a very solid season as well. I mean, it's tough sometimes with Madden stats and quarterbacks. It's usually based off a system they got in the game, and they just put up insane stats. So maybe, I don't know what to look. Jack Conklin, let's do this first before let's just keep thinking about it. I'm going to see what anybody is going to give us. Darnell Mooney. Chris Olave. I mean, I would love to do that deal, but I don't think they would ever give up Chris Olave. I don't think so. Titans. Traylon Burks. I don't want McCrary or Hitchens. Maybe Burks. Maybe we bring in Traylon Burks. I want to see what Tennessee's done with him, though. I mean, that's a possibility depending what he has done. He's still only a 79 overall. Obviously, he'd be going into, I think, his final year of his contract. We love to do that. So he's only a normal dev, 79 overall, 89 speed, 92 acceleration. He's up to 92 catching. What's that? +5 with that. What has he done the last few years? Not a whole lot. He didn't really play this much this past year. Only 14 catches, 4 touchdowns. So maybe a new scenery will do it for him. Yeah, this is his last year. He does have a big-time interest in re-signing. I don't think he would want a whole lot. He's more of that big-body receiver, 6'2", 224. You know what? Let's add a third-round pick. Let's see if we get Traylon Burks. And we do. Okay. There you go. There's one receiver down. Add him to Jamison Williams. So Traylon Burks, welcome to the Detroit Lions. Conklin actually send him back to the Titans. That's funny. And then free agency, let's get a slot guy. Quez Watkins. Give him a chance. Speedster, 27 years old. Doesn't want a whole lot there. Just give him maybe a one-year deal worth about $5 million. Let's maybe up that. Yeah, there we go. Tyus Bowser's another one I'm thinking of. He is a solid pass rusher. Very good, better than you think in pass coverage if you got to drop him back. We'll try to sign Tyus Bowser. Lee McNeil said it. I want to bring him back. Let's up that to a 3-year deal. He's only 25 years old. We'll offer him a contract. Now, safety. Hufanga is sitting there, and he is a playmaker, difference maker. I think we offer him a deal. I think we do. Let's do 4 years. Let's put this bonus up to about $5 million. Let's do that. That puts it up to, $28 million over 4 years. Right now, sitting at number 2, tied with Dallas. Well, we're tied at 1. Maybe we up it a little bit. Let's up the salary a little bit. Let's get the 4-year deal. Give him another year. Let's go up to 5, maybe 5.5. So we're still there with Dallas. Maybe we'll just let it roll. We'll let it roll there at the moment. I think it's a solid contract, but I think he's a guy that I'd love to bring in. Playmaker there in the back end. So we'll try to sign him. So right now we got these deals, and I think we'll do the evaluation offers. Let's see what we got. Let's see if anybody's signed. So Bowser and Watkins are still thinking about it. Hufanga is signed. He is signed. We got a new safety. Lee McNeil is back as well. So we got now our safeties, I think, are solid. The back end should be pretty good. Bowser, so the Raiders offer him a better deal. I don't know what they're offering, probably that. Maybe back out of that. Quez Watkins, we're still the only team willing to sign him at the moment. I think we stick with that. Let's look around. Jermaine Pratt, maybe just offer him a 1-year deal. That will get us another outside linebacker, in maybe heavy situations. And Pratt's decent in, coverage situations. Marcus Mariota, you know what? I think we try to sign Mariota, and I'm thinking we're just going to stick with Kirk Bray. I think that's it. We're sticking with Kirk Bray. We're not going after Trevor Lawrence. We're going to give Bray a shot. We're going to stick with our guys. We're going to give him a big-time shot. He showed some ability last year a lot, and I have confidence he can do it. I'm trusting in him. Now, this might be his last year, don't get me wrong, but I'm trusting in him. So we're going to stick with Kirk Bray. Now, let's look at these receivers. So I think right now we're thinking about taking a receiver. I don't know about first-round pick. Possibly if the guy's there. Isaiah Leonard, 4.48, looks solid. Good vert, decent bench. Shuttle's okay. Yeah, he's got elite strength. That would help out in run blocking. You can see the run block A to B. Catching traffic's an A. He has D catching. So I've noticed a lot of those receivers have F catching, which is just so odd. I don't understand how a lot of these guys have F catching, especially at the top end of the draft. Really makes not a whole lot of sense. So not the greatest receiving draft. There are some guys, though. George Dixon, projected first-round pick, 6'2", got some decent size from the 4.51. Doesn't look half bad. Junior Ingram, possibility. I think maybe when we can key on some guys here, I think we'll have to look at one of these guys and go even further on just to see what they are. Tyree Walls, Jason Brooks. I mean, he's 6'4", 4'49", 40. Can't really complain about that. Because you got to have maybe those outside guys. Then we got Burks, obviously. Burks, Jamison Williams, see if Quez Watkins signs. And then maybe draft a receiver. Maybe 2. Like I said, I want depth. I want depth at this position. Kair Hayden, 4.25, fastest receiver in the draft. He only had 4 bench reps. 4! Man, that's it? Well, the dude can fly, that's for sure. He has got some speed. But I don't know about that. Looks like Watkins has signed. Mariota has signed. So that gives us our backup quarterback, Quez Watkins. Now gives us a slot guy at speed. Pratt is still sitting there. We're the only team interested, so I think we should be fine. We kind of took the deal off Bowser. Just no reason to get into a back and forth. It's not that important. Now we get the 5th-year options. And we got Aiden Hutchinson. That's easy. Pick it up. Easy call there. No problem. We pick up Aiden Hutchinson's 5th year. Post that deal. That's another reason why we're saving cap, because to bring him back, it's going to want a lot of money. Jamison Williams is the other one. That's a no-doubter too. Pick that 5th-year option up. Easy call. And that'll be good. Yeah, we'll want to bring him back as well. So I'm sure he'll want a solid contract. So you also got to think. That's the thing. You got to think about the future. You got to think down the road. Jermaine Pratt's going to sign. That's why I just, no reason to go out and just sign everybody to a deal. First of all, very unrealistic. And second of all, these guys you want that are already cores of your team, you want to keep on the team. So we're going to have to try to save some cap. Mock draft number 5, which I know some people say don't look at it because it just gives away the draft. It's just how it's going to happen. I wish it wasn't like that. I want a little bit more, different stuff in the draft. Give me some big time trades. Give a team that needs that quarterback trades up. It has changed with us, Devin Boston, but that doesn't make any difference because we're the one making the picks. We can change it up easily. But I would love that. I would love if, different, they need to still fix the logic of the draft. There's no doubt about that. And we're hoping right now that we don't have the draft glitch. I play on offline. I don't see it as much as an offline, so hopefully we don't, but man, I would love more of a draft logic, free agent logic. Obviously, offseason I still think needs a little bit different stuff, just to make it interesting. So, we have focus players here. Private workouts, actually. I think we do Devin Boston. 6'4 corner. He's got some speed. Looks pretty good. Definitely want to see more of him. George Dixon's the other guy we want to see. He was projected first round receiver. Saw him in the mock. Who else do we want to do here? Maybe Jared Bassey. Maybe it looks like a Jared Bassey. No, maybe not. I don't know. D'Angelo Matthews, maybe. I don't know if we really need a safety now, but it would be interesting to see. There's no problem with rotating safeties, maybe playing more of a big nickel formation and having 3 guys in there that can be playmakers. It's definitely doable, for sure. So, just because you already have 2 safeties doesn't mean you're limited to safeties. You can move guys around. Depth, always important, and no doubt about it. So let's take a look at the recap. Nick Chubb is going to New England. So there you go, New England. Big time running back situation. They always have problems. David Bakhtiari is going to New England as well. So it's like, hey, we get Chubb. We get a big time left tackle. There you go. Run game big for New England. And Aaron Donald is going to Carolina with Brian Burns. Oh, man. Mike Williams and Chris Godwin. The Cowboys are like, hey, let's sign some receivers. Michael Thomas. Looks like we'll see him twice a year. Goes to Chicago. Judon goes to Carolina as well. Wow. The Carolina Panthers might have the most brutal pass rush there is. Trevor Lawrence goes to the Rams. That is huge. But, man, you got Brian Burns already sitting there. Now you got Aaron Donald and now Matthew Judon. Are you kidding me? Wow. That is absolutely insane. They signed Thielen as well. So trying to help their receiver core. But, oh, man. Carolina's defense. We'll have to see if we face them in the season. That's going to be an interesting thing. Man, they might have one of the most brutal defenses. That they're going to be tough. They are going to be tough. Because I'm sure J.C. Horn is still there. He's probably up. He's probably even better. I mean, man, I'm not sure who else maybe on the back end they have. If they still kept any of the guys they have, but man, wow, that is going to be one heck of a defense. But Trevor Lawrence to the Rams, they have struggled. And they have a quarterback. They still, I think, have Stafford, but obviously he has dipped a lot. So that is free agency. Some big-time moves. And let's get to the draft. NFL draft time. Here we go. Texans on the clock first. I still think they need quarterback, but they're going to go left tackle Michael Wake out of Florida State. I still think they need quarterback, but hey, that's their pick. J.J. Macklin at number 2 to the Browns from Texas A&M. Fit him with Myles Garrett. Marion Connor, left tackle, goes to the Chargers out of NC State. Number 4, Ben Ramirez, and there's your first quarterback of the draft. Going to Atlanta. Good luck with that Panthers defense. Good luck to you. Tyson Bush, left tackle, going to Arizona. Out of Miami. Jaron Elam, outside linebacker, going to Tampa Bay. Next on the clock, Colts. You got Jalen Blue, left end, out of Georgia. Paul Knowles, defensive tackle, is going to be going to Philadelphia. Next on the clock, the Jets. Let's see where they go. Lindsey Ray, guy we definitely looked at, but obviously just didn't need that position anymore. He's from Georgia, going to the Jets. Man, they love their defensive tackles. They love those picks. Joey Jefferson, outside linebacker, going to the Bills. Saints take Will Wilkins, middle linebacker out of Florida State. Goes to New Orleans with Minnesota on the clock. Let's see what they do. Perry Moulton, cornerback out of UCF. We thought about looking at him. We'll see him now twice a year. We'll see how he turns out. That's a pretty good pick for the Vikings. Rams on the clock. Oscar Peralta, outside linebacker out of Oregon. And we'll take him there. Kyer Hayden, fastest receiver in the draft, goes to Pittsburgh. Definitely a place that knows how to draft receivers. It's certainly not the Ravens. Raiders going to take Robert Fletcher, end out of Alabama. Niners pick Pat Lowry, wide receiver out of Utah. So it looks like the wide receivers are starting to go. Leslie Moulton, outside linebacker, USF, going to Dallas. Let's see where goes Cincinnati. Kirk Greco, outside linebacker out of USF, going to the Bengals, with the Panthers taking Malcolm Bryan, right tackle out of Utah. I'm glad they did not take an end or anything because, geez, they don't need any more of that. So, we are now on the clock. We are on the clock now at pick number 20. So, Brandon Schultz, the quarterback, he is there. We're not going to take him, obviously. At one point, he was projected in the top 8. I mean, he looks decently, got some good size, 4'7", I think he had a great throw power. He looks like a solid quarterback. A, short accuracy, A, medium, B, deep, B, throwing the run under pressure, not good. I'm surprised he hasn't gone yet. That's a really interesting thing. He is not gone. He's sitting around. Probably thought he was going to go top 10 at least. He's not there. So now who are we going to take? Tyler Kennedy. Solid left tackle. Not sure if I said that name right. But solid left tackle, but the strength, man, only 24 reps. Not a good run blocker. C with the lead block. The strength is kind of throwing me off a little bit. He looks solid. Don't get me wrong, he really does. And I'm not opposed to taking a tackle right now because this draft looks like either right or left. Tackles look pretty good. Tucker Myers, a little bit more strength, 29 reps. Good pass block finesse. Power not good though. D on that side. Pass block B to D, some in between C possibly. Going through any more, I'm trying to see if there's anybody here before we go to the guys we were looking at on our board. There's Jared Bassey. So we did get the 100% on him. He's a talent round 1 to 2. So A hit power. He ran a 4.51 in both his pro day and the combine. He's got B play rec, B man, so that's pretty good. Yeah, A hit power, B awareness. Very solid player. He's got A catching, C zone coverage. I think he's a pretty solid player. Got some decent size, but is that an important? Are we at best? We're not. I don't say we're for best player available. We're kind of. I mean, you're always got to be best player available in the draft. You always have to. Here's Marcus Nobles. So they're saying a talent of round 2 to 3. After we looked at him, 36 bench reps, very good strength, 4.94. He's got A tackle, C hit power, B finesse moves, B block shedding. But they're saying round 2 to 3. George Dixon, top 5 talent. Wow. He ran a 4.45 in his pro day. Man, he's got pretty good stuff here. Not bad. I mean, C catching. That's like the best in this draft, C catching. Which is kind of ridiculous. But top 5 talent? We're looking at receiver? I think we got to go George Dixon here. I think we have to take him. You're sitting at a top 5 talent. We got to take George Dixon. I think that's the pick here. We're going to take him. George Dixon is a normal development. Interesting. 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 88 agility. So that's kind of disappointing, but maybe his overall is pretty high. And Brandon Schultz does go there to the Commanders. Next pick. I mean, he looks solid. We'll have to see. There goes Tyler Kennedy. He has gone to New England. Man, they're trying to buff up that offensive line. Obviously, get Nick Chubb. Yeah, that offensive line could be pretty good. That New England offense could be solid. And obviously, with the run game, helps out their defense a lot. Jacksonville, there's Grant Pitts. He's going to go to the, obviously now Trevor Lawrence gone. So, new quarterback for Jacksonville. There's Jared Bassey. He goes to the Titans. So, we'll have to see what he turns out to be. Bears. Tucker Myers, right tackle out of Boise State, trying to help out their quarterback, their offensive line. Maybe now the Gabe McMillan to the Packers, as I'm talking about the Bears, and maybe now the top in the NFC North. And there, maybe your quarterback of the future for the Packers, Gabe McMillan, taking here at the end of the first round. And there goes Marcus Nobles to the Chiefs, as we are on the clock here at pick number 33. You know what? I see Devin Boston there. They say round 1 talent. You got a 6'4" corner. I love corner depth. You can't go wrong. 4.45 in the combine, 4.44 in the pro day. B press. I think we go with him. I think that's the pick. Take Devin Boston. Yeah, let's take him. Normal Dev, man. That's kind of disappointing as well. 91 speed, 95 acceleration at a 6'4". I mean, the dev definitely hurts, but man, that is... You can't really complain about the intangibles there. Second round pick, I still like the pick. I still think he can be an absolute beast. I mean, at that size, you could move him to linebacker and play him in nickel and dime situations if you really wanted to. That's a real possibility. So, next pick coming up here shortly. And there we go, pick coming up. So who do we got here looking at the board? We got D'Angelo Matthews, who we looked at. I'm trying to look to see more. Anybody else I'm thinking of that possibly could be in this situation? You got Leonard, Quincy Harrison. They're saying 3 to 4. Let's go to the regions here. Anybody I see possibly. I'm open to trading this pick, but maybe, I don't know. Carl Franklin. Right tackle, he's got A awareness, he's got A impact blocking. Let's take him. He's a hidden dev! That one was just, hey, let's just try it. Of course, the other guys we scouted plenty turned out to be normal dev. We take Carl Franklin, he ends up being a hidden development. We'll see what he turns out to be. He could be starting right away. There's no doubt about it. So we continue going here. Into the second round. We are on the clock here after Carolina. And I think this one, I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to trade this pick. Let's see if we can get pretty good offers here. Let's see if we can get any solid offers. That's pretty good from the Raiders. You get a second round next year, fourth round next year as well. Who knows what the Raiders end up being? That could be a real possibility. I think that's the best one we got. Let's take that. We're going to take that trade from the Raiders. We'll get a second next year and a fourth next year. So let's go to round number 3, pick 27. We'll get Chris Wilbon possibly. 4.59. Give you the safety depth, obviously. Looks okay. Anybody else? You got Alex Randall's at day 3. This is obviously our favorites. Isaiah Leonard, 6'2", physical receiver. Let's take him. Why not? 90 speed, 96 acceleration, 88 agility, 88 jumping. Who knows what he's going to be overall? He's only 21, normal dev. This is what I wanted, though. I was talking about him. He's got some huge arms. That dude has got some massive arms. But that's kind of what I was thinking of is, just continue to build this receiving core. Give a lot of guys opportunities. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, Jameson Williams is a guy going to stay out there the entire time. But everybody else, rotate guys around, get different weapons involved. I think it's a good possibility. Maybe Jerry Costanzo here with pick number 7 in this 4th round. Help out the tight end depth. Chandler Brooks obviously got hurt last year. Add another tight end. He's got A, catching traffic. Why not? 82 speed, 83 acceleration. We'll take Jerry Costanzo. It's almost like Jerry Seinfeld and George Costanza into one guy. There you go. They're a full man, if you know that. Because they're both half guys, half men. Now they're a full man, if you get that reference at all. So, let's go to pick number 19 here in this 4th round. Jerome Barker helps out maybe our outside linebacker depth. Let's take him. 89 acceleration, 84 speed, 80 agility. We'll see, obviously, other intangibles, only a normal dev. So right now, we only got that one hidden dev at the moment. I think let's take maybe Alex Randall. Let's take Alex Randall here. Looks solid. There you go. We finally got another hidden dev. Alex Randall, late 4th round pick here, running back, 92 speed, 93 acceleration. He's at 229, 21 years old, out of Florida, 89 agility. Looks like a solid running back who, depending what his overall is, might get some more playing time. So, 5th round. Let's head into this one. Tommy Darby, maybe some depth there at safety as we continue to look at that. And Kirby Joseph is still on this team. I think he'll stay on the team at the moment. Maybe. We'll see come preseason if he really just turns out to be just nothing at all. Could be a possible release. But Donald Dickens... Say that name. Donald Dickens here. D-man coverage. B hit power. C tackle, D zone. That's not looking good. But he is around 3 to 4 projected talent. Maybe we take him? I don't know. Right now we're kind of reaching here. I think we're going to take him. And he's a hidden dev. See, it's like guys like that. 87 speed, 85 acceleration, 84 agility, but that hidden dev, maybe he's like a 68 overall, you can hope, and then you can build him. Maybe. But, okay pick. We'll take the hidden dev. Continue on here in this draft. There's a lot about now. It's all about depth now. Just trying to find some guys maybe that can possibly surprise and make the team and really perform well. Devin Harrell, left tackle. I think we'll take him. Offensive line, always needed. So Devin Harrell taken. Doesn't look like the greatest draft pick there, but with offensive line, you'd probably make the team. Jared Wheaton, obviously projected UDFA. They actually have him as a top fit for us, which is kind of interesting. Speed rusher out of LSU. Why not? We'll take him. 81 speed, 91 acceleration, 76 agility. So Gerald Wheaton taken here in, I believe, the 6th round. And then for our last pick, maybe look at quarterback. Mac Thurston. One heck of a name there as well. B deep accuracy. Not a lot of speed, but, we got Mariota. Maybe we give Thurston a guy who maybe can, I don't know if he'll make the team, but possibly sit on the practice squad. I think that's a good possibility. So let's take Mac Thurston. Why not? Take the quarterback. We will take him. And 87 throw power. That is it. Wow, interesting. Obviously not much in speed, but, I doubt he is going to make the team. But we'll take a quarterback late there, and that's going to do it for our draft. So we'll end the draft. Let's go. Let's take a look at what these overalls are for our players. Hopefully it's higher than we expected. A lot of normal devs in there, which definitely hurts a little bit. But let's see what we got. Let's take a look at the draft recap here and look at our number 1 pick, George Dixon. And he's a 77 overall. So, normal dev, obviously, but man, 77, I mean, he's technically a 78 right now, but 77 overall, I think he's solid. All we need is just a couple of games. We get a breakout chance. We get him up to star dev, and just like that, George Dixon's a solid receiver. 93 speed, 94 acceleration. He's got 80 catching. Now, that's probably the best in the entire draft, which is crazy. He definitely needs to work on his route running. He is okay. Decent catching in traffic. Just work on his route running. He's got the intangibles. I think he's definitely worthy of a first-round pick. This guy could be an outstanding receiver. There's no doubt about it. We will continue to work on him. He's got really good size at 6'1", 205, 22 years old. I think it's a solid pick. I'm really actually excited about the receivers we have. Bringing Burks, Quez Watkins, Dixon. We'll have to see Isaiah Leonard here. Devin Ballston. 75 man, 70 zone, 6'4", so big time corner. Anybody worried? Face scan, all these faces, numbers, jerseys, that will be changed. I'm very picky about equipment, very picky about jerseys. It's got to be realistic looking. That's how it's got to be. I cannot stand watching stuff on here. I love a lot of franchise creators on here, but to me, if you don't have realistic equipment, it just irks me to no end. You got to change their equipment. They got to have realistic helmets. Some of these guys are wearing helmets that were worn like 10 years ago. That's just not how it is. Wearing these tapes and guards and jerseys, it's just, no. Change it up. I love the aesthetic, the realistic look of every player on the field. I go into every team I face and edit their rookies every year. I'm a stickler for that. It has to be done. And I try to go with trends, arm sleeves. I'm not going to do major pads. I kind of look at a different offensive lineman, see what they're wearing. I kind of go in those situations. So for me, that is a huge, huge deal. So don't worry, that always will be changed. Isaiah Leonard's a 73 overall. So solid pick there. I'm liking the receivers. Jerry Costanzo, the full man, I think he, 65 overall. I still think he makes the team. I like that nickname now, the full man. I mean, nobody will ever get that reference, but 65 overall. I mean, he'll probably be a number 3 tight end. Jerome Barker, 66 overall. When he has 50 power moves, 55 finesse moves, 69 block shedding. I mean, he's got decent speed, okay pursuit. Kind of another guy that's more of a special teamer, I would say. Maybe could get some time. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to get time, but kind of a special team guy. But Alex Randall, hidden dev. He is a 76 overall right now, -1 morale. 92 speed, 93 acceleration, 89 agility, 89 carrying. He's got 87 stiff arm. Just getting 86 strength. So, not bad with 72 catching. That's okay. But decent runner. Looks good. Obviously not going to be the starter, but he will get a shot for sure. I like using the running backs, no doubt about it. Donald Dickens, hidden dev. He is a 64 overall out of Penn State. Probably will not get much playing time. We'll continue to develop him. Yeah, the 58 man coverage, not what you want to see at all. 76 hit power, 87 speed. He's got 65 zone coverage. Another guy would develop, but hey, if he ends up being, you never know. You just never know. He could be a superstar dev. You continue to develop him. He just ends up being a fantastic player. Wheaton and Harrell and Thurston, I don't expect any of the guys really to make the team, but you never know. Come preseason, if they perform, I guarantee a lot of these guys will probably go in the practice squad. I think that's what it'll end up probably being for sure, because a lot of our rosters already kind of filled in. It's just trying to get the guys here and there to really fill out maybe more depth. So let's take a look at the draft. Michael Wake was your number 1 pick. He's an 80 overall, hidden dev. Solid left tackle for this Texans team, which, I'll say it for the 10th time, you still need a quarterback. Davis Mills just isn't your guy. He's not. J.J. Macklin with the number 2 pick. He is a hidden dev. Let's see what he's got. He's got 77 finesse moves, obviously the -2 right now. 89 acceleration, 86 strength, 76 tackle. So, pretty good pick. Maybe not the best, but, for a number 2 overall pick, maybe you're expecting more. Marion Connor left tackle. He's an 80 overall, 94 strength. He's got, 85 pass block. Looks very good. I would say it's that right there is that's worthy of a number 3 pick. Even, first pick, very good. Ben Ramirez, he is a 74 overall, hidden dev, 94 throw power. Got to work on that deep accuracy. I think it's a solid quarterback pick for Atlanta. It really is. That's a team, you need quarterback, you go and get it. I think it's a pretty good pick from Atlanta. Tyson Bush is a 79 overall left tackle. Man, the tackles in this draft. I knew it. I mean, you could see in the mocks a lot of the tackles were going. They look real good. If you needed a tackle in this draft, man, you got it. Lindsey Ray, 73 overall. He is a hidden dev. Strength a little low at 87. Okay block shed. Still needs a lot of work. Tackling not bad, but obviously with that hidden dev, that will definitely help them out a lot. Will Wilkins is a 79 overall. We'll see. There's Perry Moulton. We'll look at him in a minute when we look at the Vikings draft. Kyer Hayden, fastest receiver in the draft, 99 speed. I wonder if he's the fastest guy in this draft. That's a possibility. Pat Lowry, 64 overall. So you can see we hit on the receivers that we got. George Dixon, Isaiah Leonard look solid. I think Dixon's he is a top 5 overall player. Yeah, Brandon Schultz is a 76. Now, he's a normal dev, but that's solid. That's a very good pick for Washington at, pick 21? Really good pick. I mean, you got a solid quarterback that you're hoping that can develop into a really, really good quarterback. I think that's pretty good. I think it's a solid pick for Washington. That's why I was surprised he wasn't off the board. There's Grant Pitts to Jacksonville. There's Jared Bassey. He's a 74 overall, normal dev. Yeah, I think the George Dixon pick, we did solid. Because it was either Bassey or Dixon at the moment. And, yeah, we did a pretty good one there. Let's see. There's Gabe McMillan, 70 overall for Green Bay. There's Marcus Noble, 73 overall. Let's take a look at the teams. Yeah, let's look at, they took Junior Ingram. So there's another receiver that we're looking at. He's only a 69 overall. So I'm telling you, these receivers, it wasn't the greatest draft, but man, we got 2 of the best ones. So the Bears, Tucker Myers, hidden dev, 72 overall, right tackle. He's got good finesse, okay strength, good lead block. So, but still, with Justin Fields, you got to do everything to beef up that offensive line. I think, it's a solid pick. There's no doubt about it. You got to do what you can. Quincy Harrison, that's a solid pick in the 3rd round. 76 overall. He is a normal dev, but man, 98 strength. How do you have 98 strength and 75 block shedding? I don't know. But 98 strength. Man, nice pick there by the Bears. Von Sharp, hidden dev, 71 overall, right guard. So, yeah, beefing up that offensive line. Doing everything they can to make sure Fields is protected. And obviously, he still has that ability just to take off and do whatever he wants because he absolutely destroys us a lot of times. So, a solid draft from the Bears. Let's go to the Packers. Let's see. Obviously, Gabe McMillan. I'm guessing he's going to be their starter. So, Gabe McMillan is their quarterback. Take him at pick 30. He is a normal dev. He is a 70 overall. Obviously, right now wearing that number 12. We'll switch that up. 92 throw power. He's got, 77 medium accuracy. Good short accuracy. Throw on the run's okay. And bring break sacks, not good. Under pressure, not good. Play action, eh. I don't know. That's going to need a lot of work for Green Bay. Tyree Walls. So that's another guy we saw. He is a hidden dev, 72 overall. So there you go. So Tyree Walls, they take him. Like I said, it was a guy we were thinking of. He is a hidden dev, so that kind of hurts a little bit. But overall, not as good as Dixon. Octavius Scarborough, 71 overall. So, of course, Rodgers is gone. Let's start taking receivers. That makes sense. There you go. 2 of their first 4 picks are receivers. And then they take Devin Greenberry later on. He's a 70 overall. So, of course, no more Rodgers. Let's build around this guy, Gabe McMillan. We'll give him any receiver we can. So, Green Bay, okay draft. I think okay. Not bad. Not bad at all, but there's their quarterback. We'll see what happens. So, Perry Moulton, number 1 pick for the Vikings. He is a 74 overall. Normal dev, 92 speed. Man, his man coverage is not good. More of a zone guy. So we'll have to remember that. I'm sure he will be out there. If he is in man coverage, we should be able to beat him. Should be able to. Jeremiah Werner. He is a 74 overall. Solid draft pick there. 88 strength. Not too bad. 79 play rec. 83 tackle. Not bad. Got 74 block shed. Not bad second round pick. You get a 73 over center in the 3rd round, Randy Smith. Can't really complain about that. Some solid picks here in later rounds. That's good. That's better to see. I want to see more 70s in the 3rd and 4th round. I'm tired of it's top heavy and you get all those guys in the 1st, maybe 2nd round, and after that it just drops. It just drops off. I want to see more impact 3rd or 4th round guys. Even 5th round. I want to see more of that in these draft classes. I think they're a lot better. They really are. Because you can find definitely plenty of talent later on. It's just you really do have to kind of do your due diligence and looking at the draft class and just keep looking around. And even some guys you think are, oh yeah, he looks good. They just end up being complete just nothing. But still, I think this is one of the better draft classes we have had in a while. So looking at the top picks. Yeah, Dixon's the 6th best player. There's Will Wilkins. Man, that's a big-time draft pick for New Orleans. 90 speed middle linebacker, 84 hit power. He's an 80 pretty much overall, hidden dev. But yeah, Dixon, number 6 overall in the draft. Can't complain there. Oh, there's D'Angelo Matthews. 77 goes to Philadelphia. So, another guy we looked at, we're thinking about. We probably would have taken, if Funga wasn't not there, we would have definitely picked one of those safeties. It probably would have changed up a little bit. Look at Randall. Randall's right behind Dixon. So we got 2 of the top, 8 players. So when you get that, I think even though one of them, when he has a hidden dev, I think that's a really solid draft pick. And I think Brandon Schultz is the best quarterback in the draft. I'm pretty sure he is. So pretty good draft class. Not too bad. Schultz. Yeah, Schultz is the number 1 quarterback. He is. So, good pick, Washington. Kyrie Hayden is the top speed guy. 99 speed. Number 1 there. Beason was the next guy at 97. He is a hidden dev. He's only a 69 overall, but he is a hidden dev. Needs work everywhere. This dude can just run fast, and that's really about it at the moment. But needs a lot of work. Needs a lot of work, for sure. His catching right now is only a 74. But solid offseason. I think we've built up the receiving core. We continue with Kirk Bray. Defense gets an upgrade, especially with Goodrich now at X Factor. And I'm really excited for season number 4. I think the expectations obviously a little lower. We're not going into the season thinking Super Bowl like last year after an NFC Championship game. We're going to let Kirk Bray sit back there, hopefully continue to develop him, get that run game going. We got a lot of depth at running back, receiver. This is fantastic. I think the defense is going to continue to improve. And I think this is going to be a way better, more consistent season than last year. We still make the playoffs, but you finish 9-8. You finish 3rd in the division. Now Green Bay falls back. So it's definitely there for the taking. The division is there for the taking. I think we'll see what Minnesota does in Chicago. I'm not sure if Green Bay is going to be there with Gabe McMillan. But I think the division is there for the taking. And if we get that consistent play from Kirk Bray, it's going to be the key. If he plays well, doesn't turn the ball over, and he plays very good football, we will be that top team once again, and we will be right there. So hopefully Kirk Bray, in his 3rd season, gets it going, and it'll be a great season number 4. But that is going to do this all season. I know it was a long video. Thank you so much for everybody out there watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the preseason. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.